quick. Must be a bitches already in the room that quick.
I think we're live.
I was wondering what was going on.
I think we're all here. Are we all here? Can you see us live? Let us know in the comments. Please let us know if you can see us. But I do believe that we are live right now. Hey, okay, Clutch is here. Hey, Clutch. I followed you yesterday. All right, Laverne, have at it. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Laverne.
Well,
There
perhaps
you
that
go.
would help if I unmute the damn mic. Hallelujah.
Ah,
Glory.
Glory, right? Okay, welcome to the Hood Conservative Podcast. Today, I'm Laverne Spicer with your co-host Travion Cutie. We are here to bring you the latest and the greatest and the update on the news from a conservative point of view. We have two guests here with us today, Monique and Andrew. And you all, and Monique, you could go first, I guess. Let them know who you are.
Oh, well, hello everybody. My name is Monique Worthy. I'm from Texas. Ain't really nothing special about me except that I ran for Congress one time. Y'all
That's
know
awesome.
if y'all heard of Ronnie Jackson, I was in that same primary that he was in. And I gave him a good run for his money. I know he was mad at them forums. Cause baby, if I could show y'all some pictures, y'all would see them pictures from them forum and be like, oh, he was mad at her. Yeah, he was mad. But his wife ended up giving me a little bracelet. I don't know where that bracelet is to this day, but she gave me a bracelet. And but long story short, I was in the primary with him. It was 18 of us, and I was all by my lonesome. I didn't have no campaign help. I had one lady, she was my treasurer, and she helped a little bit, but yeah, it was okay. She had her work to still do, but it was 18 of us, and I beat out three people out of 18. So I think that's pretty
Oh,
good
that's
for a
pretty
little
good.
country girl, for a little country broke girl from Fort Worth, Texas, and they ain't had no help, no nothing, and yeah, that's my little claim to fame, I guess.
What year did you run, Monique?
2018, I think it was 2018 or
Okay.
2019. I think it
Okay,
was
I ran in
2018.
2020 also. So, okay. And Andrew?
How's it going? My name's
Hi.
Andrew Sales. I don't really have a cool story about how I ran for Congress or anything. I became a hood conservative through Donald Trump. To be real, I grew up a Democrat in St. Louis, Missouri, heavily left leaning city. I was always told, Republicans are racist, and I ate what I was fed. Then in like 2012, 2013. I saw Trump speaking at a seminar called Get Motivated, and he was talking about running for president back then. And I was like, that guy's got a lot of good ideas. And I was like, I'd vote for him. And then later down the line, 2015 or so, 2014, 2015, the primary came up. And, full disclosure, I did some time earlier in my life for selling drugs, and I was in jail for selling drugs. And I had these crappy little radios, and the only stations I could get when it came to politics were conservative stations. So I'd stay up all night to hear Donald Trump talk. And I was like, dude, I hate all the other guys talking, but that guy, he's got something. So, I mean, like, the Democrats created me, like they can only blame themselves. But yeah, that's kind of how I got here on the conservative side of things.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
I was about to
before you go into something else, Miss Laverne,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I, that story, Andrew, is so similar to mine. I should have told that in my little bio of how I became a Republican, because that is exactly what happened to me. I was locked up. I had got set down for a little bit, and I started listening to talk radio, and it was Mark Levin, Rush Limbaugh, Sean. This was when they was good. I don't know what done happened to them nowadays. Rush done died, and everything done fell apart. So, but back then they were real good, and that is how I became a Republican. I should have told that. That is so crazy
I
that
thought it
your
was really
story is
boring.
just like mine.
Okay. So welcome once again to the show. I see Marguerite and Clutch in the comment section. So hello, you guys. Everybody give us a hello and let us know where you're from. Can you see the comments, Travian?
I cannot. I did see Margaret and I did see Clutch. So yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So let's get the party rolling, y'all. And my
Okay,
story is
I want
very
to start
similar
this.
to yours,
I
Monique
want to
and
start
Andrew, except
this.
for the part about sitting in jail. I didn't just
Yeah,
no.
I want to start this. So yesterday, President Donald Trump, through an envoy, released 10 American prisoners in Kuwait. One of those prisoners was my cousin, Tony Holden, who had been in prison in Kuwait for over 900 days, set up on bogus drug charges. Mind you, there were plenty of black contractors who worked for the government that they set up and put in jail. This is
Wow.
the special envoy that went over and negotiated this deal. Between this deal of releasing prisoners in Kuwait yesterday, as well as in March, 25 prisoners abroad in Kuwait were released through President Trump, making it the largest release of prisoners for the United States in over 75 years. So Trump
Wow.
did this. I want everybody to see the video of what happened. G, would you run that video so everybody can get an in-depth story on what happened to my cousin in Kuwait? G,
Delay
G,
G be on that delayed time. Hello, G. Can you run the clip?
can you run the video, please? Okay, I don't know that he got it, but no, 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 that's not my cousin. That is not my cousin. That is Saquon Barkley. So, nonetheless, my cousin was a United States government contractor working in Kuwait. He had been over in Kuwait for over 15 years. Originally from Memphis, Tennessee, moved through to Atlanta and ended up working these government contracts in Kuwait. And he was also working in Afghanistan at one point. So, one day, plainclothes people came, roughed him up. He was with his wife, he was with his 3-year-old daughter, and they beat him. He thought he was being kidnapped, but it was really police officers because when in Kuwait, when you turn people in for crimes, you get bonuses. So my cousin, who didn't do drugs, doesn't drink alcohol, was forced or coerced into giving a confession in Arabic, which he does speak Arabic, but after being beating him, threatening his little girl, his wife, my cousin went ahead and confessed to this crime. They drug tested him, no drugs in his system. He's Muslim. He doesn't touch drugs and alcohol. So this was a great thing. While there were many people who played a part in his release, and there was an advocacy group. He comes from a family of 13. His family tried to raise money for legal fees and to try and get him out. But none of this would have happened without President Trump. So yes, we thank God for Trump's release, but I wanted to make it known that I had tried to coerce my family into understanding the importance of voting for Trump. And I come from an extraordinary large family. 13 kids. Tony has 12 sisters and brothers. My grandmother had 13 kids. So there's a total of 397 on one side of this family, all of which wanted to be at the dance party with Kamala and Beyonce. Not a single one of anybody in my family voted for President Trump outside of me. They laughed at me when I got indicted with Trump. A lot of them were hoping that I went to jail because I supported Trump. But now look, not a single one of you voted for him. And he's the one who brought your brother, cousin, sister, or family member home. And I'm pissed off at y'all because y'all was all up in my face talking shit behind my back. And the man who went over there, the man who knows the art of the deal, the man, the biggest negotiator that we have, went over and brought Tony home. So I don't give a damn about what any of you have to say, because if you can't say thank you, President Trump, you got a problem. And I've looked through y'all social media. Now, y'all give praise to God, and that's all good. But guess what? Guess who sent the envoy over to Kuwait? Guess who really stamped that, passport for Tony to come home? That was President Trump. And all of y'all need to be grateful. But guess what? Y'all have a leader in this family. That would be me. Y'all have a leader in this family, and y'all don't want to follow. And it takes situations like this for me to have to throw this shit in y'all face over and over and over because y'all don't listen. I want the best for my family. I tried to tell you all, I tried to teach you all over and over and over. None of you have good common sense, and it takes a situation like this for me to come slap y'all. And I'm tired of shit. Wake up. Trump is not a racist. If he's the racist, he's the worst racist alive. And not only did he bring my cousin Tony home, most of the people that they set up were Black men, contractors. So if Trump is so racist, why didn't he just bring home the largest number of political prisoners in 70 years? And that's all I have to say about that. President Trump
just happened to be all Black.
I appreciate you. I rock with you. You have done something that is completely personal to me, and I want Black people to wake up. And I need you to just keep proving them wrong, because that's what you've done.
Thank you, President Trump, for that. And it's so sad because that should be a really, really joyous occasion. But, sometimes people get so upset with the one that was able to make that shit happen in the first place, which is really silly. It's silly as hell. What they would have been happier Biden did it. It didn't happen on his motherfucking watch. Because the point of the matter is Biden didn't give a fuck what happened to Black people. But they was busy kissing his motherfucking ass. They didn't give a shit what the fuck he did.
As you're speaking of, G, roll the clip.
Roll that
Billy Porter and Stacey Adams, please. Kissing. What is this? Y'all want to call us conservatives, Coombs? What you doing kissing the hand of a decrepit Klansman? This is who Joe Biden was. Roll that clip of Stacey Abrams, because this is even more embarrassing than this dude. I don't know if I even would want him to touch me. He got angry.
Wow.
Did she just bow to him?
Yes. And you would think her fat ass would be too damn big to even move like that in the first place.
Oh, I had no idea you was this raw. Oh my goodness.
Travia is frozen. She's frozen, y'all. She just blasted off. And she's frozen right now. So we're going to wait for her to come back on. But in the meantime, first of all, when I saw that clip, I didn't even realize it was Billy. I thought it was like an old girl, like an older female. I didn't know that was him. But why would you be kissing that old ass, drawed up, half brain dead motherfucking hand in the first place? He couldn't even remember what the fuck he was saying. He probably don't even remember what the fuck he was at the ceremony for.
Black folks see Democrats as their
God.
you know God. That. Do you know that that was what is that, Stockholm syndrome, where they the man done beat him so damn bad and took
Syndrome.
advantage of him, huh?
Yes, yes, that's it. You got it.
Yeah, and they won't lead him no matter what. I don't understand what their issue is, but it seemed like when so I work at an auto plant, right? So I'm one of them auto workers they always talking about. And the plant I work at is 97% black. It's everywhere you look, we got black folks. I ain't never worked around this many black folks in my life, but it is black. So when the election was going on, we was always talking about politics. And no matter what you put in these folks' face, no matter how you try to explain to them that the Democrat Party mean them no damn good, and if they did, there wouldn't be a reason why we should still be asking for raises every damn contract. And I'm trying to explain to them why we get paid good enough, or we get paid damn good money on top of the benefits we get that we don't have to pay for. Why are we every contract coming back and asking our employer for more and more and more? I'm like, do y'all not understand how businesses work? Do you not understand what put the damn company underwater during Bush? Like, y'all don't understand that y'all doing too much when you get so much already. You're gonna put the damn company out of business trying to pay you all that damn money. We don't need no more money. Y'all need to change up the way y'all vote so that y'all don't have to pay so much in taxes, so much in rent and bills and stuff every damn day. They don't understand that. And it's like you'll never get through to them. It's like, I don't understand how, but the Mexicans even starting to get it. How the Mexicans get it before we get it, and we been here.
Because the Democrats always supported their illegals. You know, they bought them here. They gave them over $15,000 a month in food stamps. They gave them a place to stay. They gave them every type of benefits, Medicaid, Medicare, all kind of shit that we can't even get as the Black American taxpayers. We apply, we can't even get that shit. But they gave all of the benefits that they could think of to them. So when you look at cities like Baltimore, all black, Chicago black, and all these other urban black
Dallas,
communities, they have been brainwashed so long to vote and to support the Democratic Party. That's has been in like damn near embedded in the DNA for them to just vote and support and believe whatever the fucking Democrats tell you. But if they've been telling us that they cannot help us, there are no funds available. Every time you go to talk to them about the shit, there are no funds fucking available. But anything that these fucking illegals wanted, they was shitting it out by the dollar bill, just shitting it out, like making it rain all over their ass, making it rain. So if they could do that for them, and if they could come up with the billions of dollars for the welcome back, Travian.
It's not me. It just says it's having a hard time connecting. I got good internet. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I think Monique made a great point though with the Stockholm syndrome that we as a black community really have with the Democrats, because if you look at it, 12 of the past 16 years, the White House has been controlled by Democrats, and they had, even Congress for a long portion of that. So why has our community progressively got worse instead of, making progress in the right direction? So I think that's huge. Then going back to what Travion said a little bit ago is, you're throwing this stuff in your family's faces, but I can tell it's not from a I was right point of view, but from a place of love. Because I want better for you. I want better for my family. I want better for the country. And I've done the same thing with my friends and family since the first time Trump was in office. And eventually it gets through to them, because you just have to accept reality that, man, what the Democrats have done isn't working. I can look at how much my dollar has spending power now as opposed to 20 years ago. And the Democrats controlled the economy for the majority of that time. So I'm going to put responsibility on that group of people. And if somebody else is coming up with some new ideas, maybe they work, maybe they don't. But what we had going on back there just wasn't working. So I totally vibe with all that.
So Travian, what you finished? Because you know you was talking about your family when you got cut off.
No, I was done talking about them.
Okay, okay.
We had
Just
went
making
into we were
sure.
supposed to see the state. I couldn't see the Stacey Abrams bowing down
Oh
to
yeah,
Joe
that's what
Biden.
we was at with Billy. Because I didn't even know that was Billy. I just thought it was an older black lady.
No,
But I
that was
couldn't.
Billy Porter. And I'm
Okay.
like, okay, when Hollywood, when you can't get booked in Hollywood, that's what a coon does. You kiss the hand of a decrepit Klansman. So I'm like, we have this thing that if you look into my comments sometimes, especially G had put up the clip of Saquon Barkley, who went golfing and went to the White House with President Trump. And when the Eagles came and everybody wanted to call him a coon, a sellout, this man is thriving. How is it that Black people are the most jealous and the biggest haters of Black people who are thriving? Like, why are we dealing with this man is sitting in the White House, in the Oval Office with the President of the United States, the biggest, most powerful man in the free world. And Black people want to be mad at him. And this is why
That's that.
this is why, my family doesn't get it. This is why Black people don't progress economically. They don't progress technology wise. It's this we got this problem of this crabs in the barrel mentality, and
That's what I was finna say.
we don't have Black leaders. We don't have and I think Benji said it on one of the shows before. We don't even have a Black community. Black people are individually accountable for themselves. There is not a single Black community that we can say, okay, you got the AKAs and the Kappas, but is that a community or is that just an organization? So when you look at it, the Black American population, there's no room to grow because we don't have Black leaders. We don't have Black community. And, we hate on each other. And nobody is going to be able to lie about that. And somebody gave me an example in the comments saying, well, we just went out and made Ryan Coogler's movie Sinners the #1 movies because we support thriving Black people. It's a damn movie. You paid Ryan Coogler. Did you make any money by going to see that movie? Hell no. Did you build anything from going to see that movie? Hell no. That's what I'm talking about. So when Black people want to come back with a rebuttal saying, oh no, we support thriving Black people because we went to go see Sinners. You fucking idiots. This is not what I'm talking about. And don't go and try and find some obsolete excuse for ignoring the truth about what I'm saying. Y'all hated on that man because he went to the White House and played golf with the president. You still have to respect the office. And it's just upsetting. They perturb me so deeply. And you have to wonder why on some days I give up trying to help the Black population in this country. It's because you turn around and you stab me every single time when I'm just trying to show you the way so that you can get to the bag. Get past your emotions. Get to the bag. If y'all worried about money the way y'all worried about racism, y'all would be richer than Jews. So just like let's figure this shit out. I'm tired of it.
They like you said, they say they worried about racism, right? But the truth is, a lot of Black people don't even like Black people. They don't even like fucking each other any goddamn way. So what's the big deal? I mean, they're not happy when they see somebody coming up and finally making and doing well. Oh, that bitch thinks she better than us. She thinks she this. She thinks she that. You just don't find that type of support within our community when you are doing great things. Because when you're doing good and you actually helping people, then it's like everybody hates you.
While they out there begging for reparations.
While they out there begging
for reparations.
Hating on behind people. Your motherfucking back, especially in my case, because they know don't come bring that shit to me. Bring it to me if you want to. I'm gonna bat it straight back to your ass like I put on that tweet like a motherfucking Babe Ruth. That's how hard
Hey, Benji.
Not that shit straight out the motherfucking ballpark for their ass. Okay, so somebody said when you got frozen, they said disgruntled feds done froze Travian. And it was Marguerite. And then she said They act like a clique, aka they the most look down. They look down on me too, and that's true. And hey, Benji, how you doing? See Benji up there. So
I
that's the
thought,
truth, you know. Long as you doing good, you trying to do the right thing, you trying to help people. Those clicks don't give a fuck because when you not on their team, guess what? They gonna block your ass up from everything that you trying to do. You know that deals with helping people. They would do that, and I had to learn that. I really had to learn that, and that was something kind of hard for me to digest. But now I understand it better. So being that I know that, you know, that's what made me fight harder and harder and harder for these people that we do try to help right here. Because, you know, with them other ones, they just gonna be haters anyway. That's just in their nature, and that's what they do. And Joe Biden made it clear that he did not give a fuck about black people, but you could not stop them from kissing his ass. Point blank.
Not just Joe Biden, the Democrat Party, period. And then
All
what
of them.
gets me is these moderate Republicans. One thing I hate is a rhino. I hate a rhino more than I hate damn Democrats. Because at least with Democrats, you know what you're getting. With them rhinos, you motherfuckers claim to be helping us, but y'all making it worse for us by going with things that Democrats want, thinking you helping us under the guise of you helping us. You know damn well you're not helping us with this bullshit.
You know, they kind of remind you of that song that
It's
smile in your
ridiculous that
face,
we have to go through.
always gonna take your place, them backstabbers. And that's exactly what they are, because you'll never
Yeah,
know
well,
which one they
I
are.
hate rhinos with a passion.
I think it was interesting. A lot of the rhinos exposed themselves during the election Trump quote unquote lost. You know, when it came down to time to vote and say your piece, everybody was backing Trump. And then even like Rand Paul, like a guy that I liked, he was like, "Oh no, I'm out now." And I'm like, "Hold up, man! I thought you were one of the good guys." And now it's just like I don't even know. So like again, I default back to this time to where even if I necessarily didn't like the person I was voting for in Congress or the Senate in my state, if they were going to support Trump and help push his policies through, cool. You got my support because I'm voting for the guy up top to lead the country because we just haven't had a good leader in so long. So I guess the one good thing is the rhinos have been forced to show their hands and expose themselves now.
Like Liz Cheney.
Adam Kissinger. So
And
they
and
all
Liz
just
Liz
lost
was
their.
just doing it.
Say
Liz and
say that
Adam
again,
was
Monique.
just doing it so they could get Liz and Adam was doing it so they can make friends with Democrats. They know they ain't going nowhere with Republicans no more. And let me say something about Rand Paul real quick. One thing, listen, I despise rhinos, but I absolutely loathe libertarians. It is something with a deep-seated hatred with me with them folks. I just do not like them. First of all, I think they're trying to infiltrate my party. And let me say, when I say my party, I mean my party because white folks, I want to say white folks was born in was brought into this. I was born into this. I was born into this party because when the Republican Party started, it started as the anti-slavery party. Like it started.
Hey, I think she another one has
Hey, Nora.
frozen. Hey Nora, how you
You
doing?
say what?
Hi Libby. Hello
You froze,
everybody.
Monique. You froze. So
Oh
now I know
damn!
it's not just me.
And I thought I
Hey,
was making
Monique
some
is
good
back.
points too.
No, finish it. Say your point,
You
Monique.
were.
I was just saying that that black people are this, the Republican Party is our ancestral home. That is us all the way. Because if it wasn't for the need of wanting to get us out of slavery, there would have been no Republican Party. If there wasn't the need of us needing damn, I forgot my train of thought that damn fast. But long story short, I am the Republican Party. That we had a co-chair here in Texas. Her name was Kat Parks, and I remember when I had got into it with her, the co-chair of the Republican Party of Texas, on Twitter about something, And she tried to tell me we welcome you into this party with open arms. Bitch, you ain't welcome the motherfucking thing. I was born into this. I was born into this party. I'm going to be here when you leave this party because you don't know whether you want to be a rhino or a conservative. My values are this party. Don't tell me what the fuck you welcome. You ain't welcome me into a bitch ass thing. The fuck? I don't even know you. She had me going on that little old Twitter, baby, because I forgot what we had got into it about. But bitch, don't try to act like you welcome me into a party that if it wasn't for my kind would not be existence. There would be no existence of the Republican Party if there was not a need to get rid of slavery and the Whig Party was stepping on fences if they wanted to do it or not.
Well, I guess she would have
Carry on.
I think that's interesting because I like that perspective because I used to kind of identify as a libertarian when I was in between my Democrat and
I thank God you growed up. I thank God you growed up.
That's the truth. I think honestly, I think the Republican Party has grown up because they adopted the good stuff from the libertarians and just kicked all the bad stuff to the side. Really, at this point, like anybody that supported a libertarian, you have to like what Trump is doing. You know, like a lot of that stuff is in line. You know, we can throw out all the, I think that there's people that call themselves left-leaning libertarians now. I don't really know how that works, but like, I agree. I couldn't really go back to being a libertarian because like now they're just like too far off the deep end for me.
The thing with libertarians that I think I mostly disagree with and that I despise is the isolationism. Nobody wants war for their own sake, but you gotta know that there's a point in time when war has to be done. It just no way around it. It has to be done, and to fight a war effectively, you got to have goals. You got to have ambitions. You got to know where the end point is. Do you want to win, or like when Donald Trump was going through that phase when they was talking about the war with Russia and Ukraine and stuff, and they was like, well, Donald Trump don't want to start no more wars, or he ain't gotta start it. Just build the fucking military up so where motherfuckers won't think they can test our gangster when they want to. That's one way you ain't got to worry about having no wars coming to you because them motherfuckers gonna be scared pissy.
And also, to piggyback on what you're saying, another thing is keep all them queer queens out of the military, because the last thing you want is when you out there in the field, you got somebody twisting. Oh, are they shooting at us? Oh my God, what are we going to do? That motherfucker would get everybody fucking killed.
And listen, now, as a trans person, let me tell you, some of y'all may not have known this, but if you know me real well, you know I'm trans. You don't know how happy I was when Donald Trump did what he did about that trans stuff in the military. Because first of all, when you transitioning and stuff, that is I ain't finna go into all that, but I thank God he got rid of all that because
go ahead.
I don't want, listen, you don't want me trying to protect you. Okay, not in no military sense anyway. Now I can fight with the best of them, but once I hear that pow pow, bitch, I'm gone. Like I'm not, and then I'm too worried about if my nails looking good. Like right now, I need to go get my nails and stuff done. I'm not trying to do all that, but I thank God that with clarity, they done made the right decisions in the military, because if you worried about inserting yourself with stuff that gotta keep you open and all that while you going through your process in the military, that's not good, because you holding folks back. So let me get off that subject. Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
Monique, I'm sorry, because I didn't know you were trans. I had no idea you were trans. I had no idea. So I'm sorry. I don't know. I mean, I followed your post, which actually said nothing about you being, I don't know, how long when did this happen, this transition?
I don't know. It's been a while. And it's not like I go around just, hey, I'm trans. I don't do that.
Okay.
That's why most people who that's why if you don't know, you don't know.
Well, I guess
But
you
like
came out on the hood conservative, so.
I can't pinpoint when exactly it was, but it was a while ago. And it I don't know. I don't even like talking about it because I don't like giving folks ammo to try to attack me with. Because my family and stuff, they be like, how you LGBT?" I said, I'm not LGBT. I am MONIQUE. Let's get that right.
Okay.
I do not belong to the community. I am not of the community. I don't go to gay bars and gay clubs. I don't do none of that. I sit at home. I work. I sleep. I eat, and I go on about my business. And I might do a little politicking here and there. But I'm not with the bullshit. Don't come to me with no bullshit. Don't ask me about if trans people need to use the restroom, whatever. Listen, I'm gonna go to this restroom and I'm gonna use my business and I'm gonna get on out and listen. Somebody said, "Oh, how do you feel about the trans bathroom issue?" I said, "It can go either way for me." Cause listen, if you force me into this man's restroom, you gonna have an issue trying to explain to your little boy why this beautiful woman is going into this stall in this man's restroom. Now that's a problem you're gonna have to contend with on your own. I don't mind going. Listen, if I go into a public place where they say, well, you trans, so you got to, okay, I'll go in there. And then now let me tell you, I went to this Faith and Freedom conference that they had down here one time with Matt Couch. I think his name Matt Couch. Now this was totally on accident that this happened. I needed to go to. I was scheduled to speak, and I think I did speak. I think it was towards the end when I needed to use the restroom. Right. Let me tell you how crazy this was. I needed to use the restroom, so I go to the restroom. I guess I didn't look at the signs right, or maybe I wasn't paying attention. But I went in the restroom and I noticed urinals. Like the women's restrooms have stalls. My dumb ass talking about some. Oh no, they taking this shit too far now. They got urinals in the women's restroom. Girl, while I walk out the door, and as I'm walking out, a man is walking in, and he looking at me funny, and I'm looking at him funny. Girl, I walk out the door, I look at the sign, and it say men's. I say, well, there was the first test of that. So, girl, yeah, I be having some fun with some stuff, but that was a total accident. I did not mean to do that. So I'm sure that man was just as wowed at me as I was at him going into what I thought was the women's restroom. So there was that story.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay, Andrew, tell us how we gonna make some money.
Let's make some money, baby. Let's get back to it.
So, Andrew is, the neighborhood investment advisor, heavy into crypto and different coins. And I think that our audience should know that crypto is for real. It is here to stay. It's a real currency. It's not fiat money. You have people that, oh, I don't want to mess with crypto. Oh, that's fake. I'm not, I don't believe in it. Please give them a small dissertation on how important it is that they do it now, because some of us have been in it since 2015, 2016. So I'll leave that to you.
Yeah. So I think honestly, your financial freedom and your financial security ties in to being a conservative, just because you have to realize how bad things are in our country. We can even say globally, right? We don't have to silo it down to the US, but you just have to feel like if you're over 30 years old, you felt the spending power of your dollar go down every single year. It's trending towards zero. There's no way around it. Every empire, their money goes to zero. There's a reason coins used to be made of gold. It was because if your empire collapsed, you could take that gold to another empire and the weight was still worth something. Well, we've got away from the gold standard now, and that's why our fiat money is worthless. Well, Q Bitcoin. It's a beautiful online version of digital gold. I say it's beautiful because I'm a degenerate, but it's basically a digital ledger, right? So like if I send Travian $100 and I've got US Bank and she's got Bank of America, US Bank's not going to put $100 in a wheelbarrow and send it over to Bank of America. They're just going to update, okay, $100 from this account, add like $100 to that account from the computer. They make their fees for being the middleman. Well, Bitcoin eliminates the middleman. There's a ledger stored online, and the wallets are kind of anonymous. They're not going to be tied to your name, but you could track it. I don't want to get into all that yet. But the ledger will go, all right, well, ABC wallet sent $100 to XYZ wallet, update the ledger. We don't need the middleman. And the reason you guys are, you have to know inflation. The reason the dollar loses spending power is because so many more dollars are pumped into the economy or in the circulating supply every year. Well, with Bitcoin, there's a 21 million supply cap. And every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin that can be produced on a daily basis or yearly basis, however you want to measure it, is cut in half. So now you have a deflationary currency. So and like I know it's a long explanation, guys, but I'm almost there. I just want to make sure everybody fully wraps their mind around this. So imagine, you have thousands of dollars in your bank account right now. In 4 years, they're going to have maybe 50% of the spending power if we're lucky. Well, with Bitcoin, in 4 years, assuming things go the way they have the past 16 years, your spending power should at least double, if not more. And a great way to look at it is look at the price of houses in Bitcoins back in like 2017. And I think it took like a couple hundred Bitcoin to buy a house. Your average house in America, 450K. Bitcoin was 2017, 2,500. Well, now you can buy a house for like 3.5 Bitcoin. So that's a real way to imagine the spending power of Bitcoin increasing at every 4 years. So why I think is so important. Like I personally use Bitcoin as a bank account. I have minimal money in a bank account. I mean, it's the first of the month, just move some money for bills today. but usually I have no money in a bank account. My money flows in Bitcoin. I trade coins, profit goes to Bitcoin. So I'm a believer. Everybody should have some Bitcoin. Now I'm not going to tell you guys to live a life like me because like I've been in the game since 2017, steadily building, and 2021 I went full-time crypto and just shoveled everything in. But you should start building something, and a lot of people are going to pitch all these crazy coins at you, this and that. You can make $1 million. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But a good basis for financial security is just start accumulating a little bit of Bitcoin. Now. I'll give some price targets, right? I don't have a magical ball, so I can't promise you anything, but my target for Bitcoin over the next 6 to 15 months maybe is about 170K, 140 to 170K. Now, it doesn't sound like a crazy amount of money, the $1 million everybody's offering you, but you can't go stick your money in the stock market and get a 50, 45% gain in that amount of time.
Ever.
So that's your safe play, right? DCA, dollar cost average, right? You got $100,000 you're going to put in Bitcoin, dude, drop 20K a month for the next few months. Once it goes to 170K, take your profits and get back down, come back in later. Now there are some other coins that do stuff that I like to invest in, just to throw out some stuff. I've been in Solana since $8, $10. I think we called it live on our morning show. It ran to like 270 this run. We're at like 150 right now. I like us to go on a little bounce sometime soon. I'm really into the tech side of things. Tokens that you can build other stuff on, and one I really like is Sui. It's a couple of bucks right now, probably $3 to $4. I don't know the top of my head, but
Spell that for the audience. Spell Sui.
SUI. I'll drop it in the chat too. Oh, never mind, I can't. But SUI, it's a cool one, right? This is one to where, let's say you've got like your Bitcoin bag. That's where you're going to put 90% of your money because it's safe. And maybe you put something like 10% in something like Sui, and you expect to hold it for a few years, and maybe you hit like a 30, 40, 50, 100x on something like that. And a 40x is going up 4,000%.
Right.
So that's really my overall view on crypto right now. I think that we've got room to go. I think you can put some money in and leave with some profits. The key is not getting greedy. Everybody thinks that it's always going to keep going. It never always keeps going. And then at the bottom, a year from now, a year and a half from now, everybody's gonna be like, oh, crypto's dead. Well, yeah, they told me it was dead when Bitcoin went back to $4,500 in 2019. they said it was dead when Bitcoin was at 17K in 2022. I bought both those bottoms. You know, that's why I'm able to do what I do now. And there's people saying Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. Cool, show me the intrinsic value of the US dollar. You know, that was backed by the government that shuts down every 6 months, and we had a leader with dementia for 4 years. I'll take my chances on the digital gold backed by the world. But any questions, man, I'll answer whatever you guys want to throw at me.
Give them 5 points that they can take a look at right now.
Oh, my bad. What'd you say?
Give them 5 coins that outside of Bitcoin and SUI, give them 3 more coins that they should take a look at outside of Solana.
Yeah, I like Solana for sure. There's so I'm gonna throw some meme coins at you guys, and it's probably gonna sound stupid because you're like, how are people making money on memes? But like, when you understand that a lot of things in crypto is about culture, right? Like, imagine like a hood coin, right? For all the listeners of the Hood Conservative podcast, that they feel like they own a piece of it by owning that coin, right? And they're telling their friends about it. So a lot of these coins, they're attached to random like memes that you see on the internet. So one I do like is actually, I'll throw it out there for a quick play that you'll probably like sometime during the Trump presidency, but Trump coin. I think we see a little bit of pump out of Trump coin. I run a trading group. We got in that. We caught it right when he dropped. We hit a 3,000% overnight on it. I still hold a little bag of it, but I like that. There's another coin called Pepe. It's a meme coin, but it's sending. I like that one too. And then the final one I'll throw out as something that I like is let me throw out a good one. So I'll throw out it's gonna sound dumb. I'll say it on here, but Fart Coin. It doesn't make any sense, but it was launched by an AI, or it was the idea was conceived by an AI, and degenerates just ran with it. And it's one of those ones that over like the next month or two, I think it's gonna double up. So it's one you could put some money in and let it go. But that being said, I would feel much safer with my money in Bitcoin than any of this other stuff.
And then, so everybody, who has waited for Ripple and the XRP situation, which, depending on when you got into XRP, I had XRP when it was 4 cents, so, right now, we're sitting on, $2 and maybe 20 cents today. But, where do you see XRP going, and what do you, and do you see a central bank for outside of, unless that central bank is going to be Bitcoin, do you see a central bank for crypto?
For sure. And let me address one of the comments, because they think I'm just like a radical Bitcoin person. It's like, I am not a radical Bitcoin person. I've just studied the financial system. And so a lot of people like to reference tulip mania and be like, oh, Bitcoin, they're new tulips. You obviously haven't done any market research. Go look at the data on tulips. They never experienced an all-time high after an extended bear market. Bitcoin has experienced multiple. So come back with a better shoot down on Bitcoin there. When it comes to XRP, man, I'm probably gonna hurt a lot of feelings. I held XRP in 2017. I sold it around like $2 the first time, but I don't buy the pitch. They say that the SWIFT banking system is going to use it and it's going to absorb all this capital. I just don't see it happening. Back in 2017, I thought it was going to happen because there weren't so many people readily to deploy this technology. Now we've had such an influx of people who can build and stuff being built. It's going to make more sense, in my opinion, for banks to build out their own blockchains. And Trevian, you blew my mind on the space yesterday with FIFA. Like, I never knew the potential for a FIFA blockchain, but like now I'm like, dude, I got to get everything on the FIFA blockchain. But I think what you're going to see is banks do the same thing, because it's like, all right, why am I going to use this thing and let them make a bunch of money off us when we can just build our own thing? And so like, then when it goes back to the banking system, I think government's going to do what government does and run everything. I think eventually we throw away the US dollar. We got our Bitcoin reserve. We'll issue a digital dollar that's backed by Bitcoin, and it'll make sense. And then like 20, 30, maybe 50 years down the road, they're gonna be like, yeah, we got this awesome idea. It's called fractional reserve Bitcoin. We're based on a portion of the Bitcoin we hold. We can give you more dollars, and then they'll destroy it like that.
Interesting. Yeah. So I jumped into Andrew's space yesterday. FIFA, the soccer football conglomerate, is building their own blockchain, and some people were trying to bet against it. And what I'll say, as someone who worked with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Qatar for them to be awarded the tournament, the FIFA tournament, more people believe in, and a lot of people are not going to like what I'm about to say, but more people believe in soccer than they do Jesus Christ. And FIFA is the conglomerate of soccer. There is no amount of money that FIFA does not have access to. So people were saying, well, FIFA's just not going to build a good blockchain. FIFA is going to pay the best brains and the brightest brains in the world to come and build them the best product in the world. And for someone who has seen the United Nations go against FIFA and other advocacy groups for slave labor and slave trade, which Qatar, who was awarded FIFA, is guilty of. And I was hired to handle their reputational affairs to help them get the FIFA tournament. And what I will tell everybody, and like Andrew just said, put everything on the FIFA blockchain, because there's nothing that FIFA is going to allow to fail. There's nothing that FIFA is going to let anybody get in the way of, because they have that almighty power. FIFA is its own government, like the Vatican. So I need people to understand, if you really want to get into, building your own, put everything on that FIFA blockchain. I guarantee you'll be profitable.
Yeah,
So,
man, I'm excited for it. Sorry.
For people that may not be too much into the crypto business, and they may be an amateur starter, whatever, what platform would you suggest that they use? Like Acorns, Coinbase,
Yeah, I think as a beginner,
Robinhood?
I always send everybody to Coinbase because it's super easy. Your money is FDIC insured. You're going to be limited on your options of what you can buy there. To be real, if you're buying something on Coinbase, I probably bought it and sold it months ago. But I think as a beginner, it's a good, safe place to stick your money. Now, that being said, there's decentralized wallets, which, tie to your computer, a hard drive, whatever. That's where I suggest everybody moves their money once they're comfortable. Because if we go back to the gold standard, all that good stuff, we I don't remember the exact year, but I think it was maybe this, I don't know, I don't want to say a year, be wrong, but the government confiscated everybody's gold. I think we see the same thing with Bitcoin. Eventually, they're going to be like, hey, Bitcoin's a security risk, national security risk. We're going to need to take those Bitcoin and we're going to give you some digital dollars in exchange. And that way we can store them like we've done with our gold that's in Fort Knox. So start on Coinbase, but once you get comfortable, get on a private wallet. It'll, now the thing, if you move to a private wallet, you lose your password, your seed phrase, and all that good stuff. The money's gone forever. So like me, I've got mine stored a couple places, in a fireproof safe. But it's start as a beginner on Coinbase and just work your way until wherever you're comfortable at.
And it's very important that you do get into crypto now. It's not too late. It will be eventually, but it's not too late for people who are beginners, self-starters. You don't have to spend to learn how to get in and be profitable. So at minimum, take $250, take $300, put it in some coins and places of your choice, and just see and watch these graphs, so you'll get to see what moves the markets. Pay attention to the news, because the news, oil moves the market. Yep. I don't know if that gold is still in Fort Knox, Andrew, because nobody's conversation about the gold that we were wondering where it was. Where's the gold? Has anybody had the gold? It's gone. We have to be honest. The conversation just dissipated. Why did the Trump administration stop talking about the gold? They were so interested in it. They were going to send Elon to go look for it. And boom, the conversation is dead. So, do we have the gold or we don't have the gold? And I think that's another question that should be asked, along with us, holding Doge responsible for prosecuting all of these NGOs and these different companies and corporations that have stolen trillions of dollars from the American people, you tell us, oh yeah, they got you for 50 million over here to the Senegalese, and over here in Pakistan for a gay cartoon in Elmo, we gave them $500 million. Who are we prosecuting? Why are we not prosecuting people? And so that's why I have, I've lost this faith in Doge the same way that I've lost, the faith in the Epstein files coming out. G, would you roll that slide, please? So Virginia Giuffre, she was one of the main Epstein victims. Prince Andrew was one of her abusers.
I don't know what happened, but anyway, you can roll the clip, G.
And after that clip, I want to say something about that, about the Doge stuff.
Okay, you could go ahead on and say it because
she just wanted her
Okay, well,
justice.
are you back? Okay, go ahead.
What happened? She wanted
You
her
got cut
justice.
off. You got dropped.
I did.
Yeah, you got dropped when the clip was when the girl popped up. That's why you didn't see it.
It's not me. And trust me, I didn't go out and come back in. So I don't know
You
what
got
what's going on
dropped
back there. Y'all
I got
is that
three
the
people.
feds back
Was
there?
she
I was
up
talking
there?
about Epstein.
No. Monique, did you see her?
no, I didn't. She went out.
You went out.
The feds are on the hood conservative. They didn't want me talking about the Epstein people, but this woman is dead. Whether it is, and she said multiple times she was not suicidal, but she had her faith in the Trump administration, hoping that they would bring her justice. And now she is no longer here. Just like the gold conversation, we have not heard from this administration about the Epstein files. Why are we not holding this administration responsible for the Epstein files? Why are we protecting pedophiles? I will say it every single time. This is her. This is this woman who said, despite all of these people raping her and sexually abusing her, she still was not suicidal, but now she's dead. So, the American people, we all love Trump. Me personally, I'm connected to him. For the rest of my life, I'll be connected to that man. But I'm still in the business of holding this administration accountable. So we can't just keep, believing and believing and believing, and not ask conservatives and Republicans just say, hey, look, we're going to need an update. If not, what are you doing? Where are the results? And there are a lot of promises that Trump made that he has kept. But once the tariff conversation came along, everything else went away. Can you turn that up, please, G?
I was so young. Keelan woke me up in the morning and said, you're going to meet a prince today. I didn't know at that point that I was going to be trafficked to that prince. And then that night, Prince Andrew came to her house in London, and we went out to Club Tramp. Prince Andrew got me alcohol. It was in the VIP section. I'm pretty sure it was vodka. Prince Andrew was like, let's dance together. And I was like, okay. And we leave Club Tramp, and I hop in the car with Ghislaine and Jeffrey, and Ghislaine said he's coming back to the house, and I want you to do for him what you do for Epstein. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that even royalty were involved. I was so young.
There you go. There you go.
Wow.
We have no conversation coming out of the White House. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, everybody's bragging about these accomplishments, and we're seeing posters, put in the grass on the White House lawn of, illegal criminals that have been deported. But this is something different, because evil is measured by how it relates to our children. And nobody is having this conversation because we know Israel is involved, and we know this government is protecting Israel because they are the purveyors and the provocateurs of pedophiles. So when are we going to hold this government responsible, specifically our attorney generals? What's going on? Nobody's saying anything about why we have not even heard a peep about where the rest of these Epstein files.
Okay, so real quick, before this loses my train of thought, I took issue a little bit with what you said about Doge not too long ago. I feel like Doge is doing what they can, how they can. Now, I don't blame them for nothing because personally, I'm grateful for them because they don't have to do it. They doing it for free. If you're gonna blame somebody, blame the attorney general because that bitch should have had some shit out by now. I don't know what her holdup is because she told us that she was gonna get the stuff out. Doge can only make recommendations, and it's up to the agency heads to follow through on those recommendations. So Doge is doing what they can with what little bit of, if anything, power they have, and I'm very grateful for them because they doing this all for free. They ain't asked for no money. They ain't looking for no money.
No, those
They
are
just want to
federal.
do
No,
what's.
those are federal employees. There's a department of federal employees that do this work. They're not doing that. Nobody's doing anything for free. Nothing in government is
Oh,
ever.
I thought they was working for free, but even still, they can only make recommendations. So the whatever recommendations they made, I'm pretty sure they made criminal referrals to the Justice Department because in that interview with that ABC News guy the other day with Donald Trump, he was trying to get on Trump about that, and Trump said, "Hey, don't come at me like that, bro. You don't know what investigations is going on." And he was like, "Well, are there?" And he said, "Well, you making statements now." Did y'all see that interview?
I missed it.
Oh, you gotta see that interview because Trump was going in on that little guy. Like I was like, "That's my motherfucking president right there," because he was acting like how we would have expected Barack Obama to act. Because nah, bro, you ain't finna come at me like that. You ain't finna make it seem like we ain't doing shit. You don't know what the hell we doing. And just because it ain't getting leaked to you, don't mean it's not happening. Now I'm
Monique,
praying that this is actually what's going on. But hey,
Monica, you said something I was thinking, and this might be a stupid question. I don't know. I'm not dialed into the high level governments like you guys are, but is it possible that maybe we haven't seen the stuff on the Epstein because there's actually ongoing investigations tied to it and they can't jeopardize that? Or you guys just think it's the administration's dragging their feet on purpose?
I'm gonna be honest. Everybody's not.
I'm praying that
President
might
Trump
be the
knew-
case.
President Trump had access to the Epstein files before he left office the first time. Okay, so let's not say, oh, this is just new information and now we got to do investigation. You said specifically, Pam Bondi, we are going to release the Epstein files. Not a single name of a single pedophile, child abuser, child killer, child blood drinker. Not a single name was released to the public. We knew about Bill Clinton. We knew about Prince Andrew, but it's a whole ring of people. And these people are being protected on the blood of our children. And I'm not cool with it no matter what excuses people try and make for this administration. Tell the truth. You're protecting these people. And why are you protecting them? How much power do these people have that you feel like you got to protect them over doing your duty that you promised to the American people? So I'm going to call it out. I'm with Trump 100%, but that does not mean I'm not going to hold some accountability to the person that I pledge my allegiance to. And that's everybody's job as a constituent of this country. That's your job. Don't just go. Nothing in government is what you see, whether Trump tells us or somebody else tells us. Okay? We had 31 million illegals come through this country in 4 years. We haven't even deported 250,000. It's because the government can't handle this task. So I'm just going to say there's more to be done and there's accountability to be had. And I am always going to be the champion of trying to get that accountability because I believe in my country. I want the best for my country. I have put my life on the line for this country. So I have the right to do that.
Right, and we all should absolutely be doing that, because this is our heritage. This is what we will leave to our children, grandchildren, and all that. Like, I totally agree with you. I just my only contention was the Doge part. Like, I just didn't think that was a fair assessment on their end, because I feel like they can't do nothing. They're not agency heads. We gotta get to Pam Bondi about why the fuck she not releasing what the fuck she said she was gonna release. Bitch, what is you doing?
Nepotism with Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi was on site when the feds came and raided Mar-a-Lago. So I feel
Was
like
she?
oh yeah, she was right there, front and center. So I believe that she is in this position because she was on site. She does know what's going on, and so those type of recommendations come when people are trying to choose their appointees. You get all these people who say, well, she was on site, she is privy to this information and this information. Why don't we keep her close and make her attorney general? That's what I truly believe about Pam Bondi, because this hoe ain't
I
did
didn't know
nothing
that.
but pissed everybody off. You get on the media, oh yes, we've done this and we've done this. You haven't done jack.
Not
You
one damn
haven't
thing.
done anything. So let's keep it 100. Pam Bondi is a frontist. She is in her position due to nepotism because she was at the right place at the right time. This woman is not skilled. You can listen to her when she does her media hits. It's all political jargon. She ain't get. I mean, we should already have some arrests.
Oh wow.
We should already have some arrests, Nora. We waiting on Pam Bondi to do something. Oh yeah, they're gonna say, well, it's just 100 days. That's a lot of days. 100 days is a lot of days to not have one arrest. And now you arresting these bullshit judges that really don't have any power, but you're not arresting these child molesters. You know what I'm saying? So we have a government that is.
Oh, I'm glad they arrested the judges.
I'm sorry?
Judges.
Oh yeah, they needed to arrest them. I said I'm glad they arrested them judges. They needed to arrest them. I wish they'd arrest more. Matter of fact, let me say this real quick. When I was at work the other day and they was talking about how we waiting on the Supreme Court to answer to somebody said something about well where will the arrest stop? Will you arrest? A matter of fact, it was in that interview with that ABC News guy, and he was like, I think it was, and he was like, you gonna arrest the Supreme Court? Hell yeah. If they harboring a goddamn fugitive, hell yeah, we're gonna arrest their motherfucking ass. Put your hands behind your goddamn back and walk down that damn perp walk. That's exactly what we're gonna do. We ain't gonna hold nobody to no higher standards than what it should be. Because listen, when they talk about, well, these judges, we have to obey their order. No, the fuck we don't. No, the fuck we don't. They wasn't obeying them when Biden was president, when Obama clearly told you he didn't have a certain power, and the judges granted him the motherfucking power anyway. That no, we don't. No, you're not finna tell me that every damn decision is right. Now, if it's a constitutional decision, I know constitutionalists, but I know I can read the Constitution and the Federalist Papers and see what they meant and what was going on at that time to understand that something ain't right. Like with the slavery decisions and stuff like that. All that shit was wrong. And you're not gonna tell me that if we are one vote away from every Supreme Court decision from losing rights to motherfuckers saying some shit like, well, we have to abide by the court's decision. No, the fuck we don't when it's wrong. And we should not, because that's how you lose your freedoms. That's how you lose your lives. And that's how you lose everything you hold dear. By just going along to get along. No, the fuck we don't. When it's a clearly constitutional decision, like let's say tomorrow there's a court case where they just trying to take all your guns, don't give a fuck about the Second Amendment, and there are 6 liberals on the court. And they say by the stroke of their little fairy tale pens that they gonna take away all your damn guns. You just gonna let it happen because it's the Supreme Court? Fuck no. You bitches try to come and enforce it. That's what you do. Try to come and enforce it and see what the hell happened to you, Supreme Court Justice. It's wrong. Like when they was trying to tell him he needed to facilitate bringing back. Why? That man ain't here. This is not his country. This is not his home. He is where he belongs. He is where his mother, granddad, all them folks was born and raised in El Salvador. Let them stay in El Salvador. Let
What?
them stay over there. That man is at home. Why you gonna tell this man to facilitate bringing this man home? What the fuck kind of shit is that? You gonna smuggle that man out that country to bring him here? You can't take him from his home. Maryland was not that man's home. Those are the kind of decisions that needs to be ignored. You can't tell one president, Obama, that only the federal government, only the president has the power to enforce immigration laws and enforce enforcement of the immigration border and all that. And then when Trump get in office, it's a whole different story. Now we got to have all these goddamn hearings and shit because y'all don't want these motherfuckers to go home. Did I take my blood pressure medicine? I need to take my blood pressure medicine.
Crazy part is we didn't need any hearings when they flew all them 200 and some million motherfuckers over here. So
say that. You better say that.
We did not need no court hearing when they flew all them motherfuckers into this country. When they rolled they happy ass over here on them alligator backs, cross them goddamn canals. We didn't need no motherfucking court hearings for that shit neither, right? So
exactly.
Now,
exactly.
why is they fighting Trump to get these people up out of this country? Why?
Because they want them to stay.
Judges fighting Trump to keep these illegal motherfuckers here. I never seen them fight like that for an
never seen it.
Period.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We did see them fight like that when they was trying to keep their damn slaves. They was fighting even harder.
Where was the fight to get Trevian's cousin back, right? And we're fighting to keep people here, and like we're not fighting to get our citizens back. Like,
no,
anybody try wrapping their mind around that?
Our motherfucking American citizen back from these other countries. They didn't fight for that shit. I never seen these people in Congress fly over to other goddamn countries the way they fly into these places now, trying to bring these damn illegals back here to this country. You don't even see them fight for their damn district like that. Look how fucked up California is. Look how fucked
all them mothers, all them single mothers going into Walmart, stealing and shit with their kids with them. And when they go to jail, y'all ain't talking about how they separating them from their kids.
They ain't said a motherfucking
that
word.
Bitch was in Walmart stealing. I remember when I used to steal out of Walmart back when I was a criminal. When I used to steal out of Walmart and I used to have my homegirls with me and they had their kids and shit. And I used to tell them, you bitches gonna get in some real shit if we get caught with these damn kids. And when we went to jail, the kids went to CPS. That's Child Protective Services in Texas, if y'all don't know. And we ain't seen no Democrats coming trying to bond us out and shit.
No.
We ain't seen no GoFundMe for us. I don't think they even had GoFundMe back then. But still.
Yeah, I did 10
They pick and choose. They pick and choose. They tired of black folks. Democrats is tired of black folks because they got to promise us the goddamn world to get our fat asses up off that couch and go vote. But them damn Mexicans, all they got to do is bring their asses over here. They gonna go vote.
But they had $15,000 a month reasons to carry their ass over there and vote.
Hell yeah.
They had a roof over their head reason to go and vote. They had a car reason to go and vote. They put them motherfuckers up.
Educational reasons
to go and vote. But nothing for the black man. Nothing for the fucking black man. Nothing.
And y'all started talking about some goddamn reparations. Y'all been talking about reparations for years, and let these Mexicans come over here and they get all your fucking reparations you've been begging for. You begging for them. These motherfuckers coming over here, they ain't even asking for them. They just giving it to them.
Straight off the whatever they float the fuck over here on, they got it. They getting it. As soon as they float their ass on over
One of them rolled over here on the dolphin's back. I seen it.
Oh shit.
And like somebody said, no help for the North Carolina victims of the hurricane. They ain't
At
did shit
all.
to help these people yet.
At
Nothing.
all.
And what about the ones in California that lost their homes because of that wildfire? And all them motherfucking homeless people in California that's been there for years, right there. And they can't miss them because they right there where the casinos are. Right
Now
there where
listen.
the casinos are. The same places they be staying as where all the fucking homeless people are, right there under the damn bridge. They cannot
Now I
miss
know
them.
this gonna I know this gonna touch some folks the wrong way, but I don't mean no harm when I say it. I love California. I do. It's so beautiful. I ain't never been. I think I was a kid one time when I went, but I ain't been back since. It's so beautiful. Everything is nice and peachy and all suns and glory and everything. But I don't blame nobody for California but California. Cause you bitches been voting this way for I don't know how long. Y'all don't let the water come down to where it's supposed to come. And y'all keep voting for these same motherfuckers that won't let your water flow to where it's naturally supposed to flow to. And y'all complain about no water. Now your shit done burnt down. Y'all got these millions of homes. I feel sorry for you. I do. But this is what you vote for. If you don't want it, move out. Come to Texas. We will take the common sense folks.
Well, I think
But
guys
you
are
liberals stay where y'all at.
I think
Stay where y'all at, because
I was gonna say I think you're missing what California really is. It's an experiment when you put all the worst policies in one place and then keep compounding on them. That's what happens.
Well, the point end of the story is they voted for the shit. You voted for your insurance companies to leave you high and dry because y'all want to put unnecessary burdens on them to where they can't fluctuate as what they're supposed to do. So that y'all did it to your damn selves.
They was functioning pretty good while they was collecting those damn insurance premiums. They was functioning then. So, you know, that's when you got to look at your legislative people like Karen Bass ass that got her motherfucking ass up there that voted to have they shit cut off in the first place. And I bet you they dumb ass still there supporting that motherfucker too.
And Karen looked like she been sucking on straws all her life. She looked like she been eating Sour Patches all day.
G, you have a clip about a woman in a sex education camp. Can you roll that?
That should be interesting.
Yeah, very. G, there you go.
Hell no.
How did I know she was gonna look like that?
During Sex Ed Summer Camp. So our primary themes during Sex Ed Summer Camp that will be existing every single day along the way are power, justice, consent, and media literacy. And so these will be rooted from disability justice and queer theory practices, and they'll be our primary threads that connect us throughout all of our lessons and activities and projects that we will all be developing together. Queer theory of education, a huge part of it is actually centering the most marginalized. And so making sure that our lessons feel welcome to queer people, to trans people, to everybody in the space. We did ultimately decide that the official name is Sex Ed Summer Camp because we want to kind of start to disrupt this idea of it being something that we shouldn't be talking about or like uncomfortable to share. We are going to have pre-surveys and post-surveys. And so some of the questions will be like, hey, like how comfortable are you talking to your caregiver, or vice versa for the caregiver, your young human, about sex, bodies, and relationships? And then throughout the 2 weeks, we will then ask a similar question at the end and see how that changes. Some of the art projects that you'll get to actually like see at the end of the camp are different like galaxies of identity that we are creating. We are planning on like opening up conversations about like sexualized media.
During our media day, we're going to create a piece of media.
So I'm just gonna come out and say this. I don't think there should be no goddamn school or no goddamn camp that needs to teach kids how to explore what they think they might want to be because there's a bunch of people showing it to them. I know you're in that space, Monique. However, you figured that out.
Don't put me in that space. Okay, don't put me in there. I ain't got nothing to do with that.
I'm just gonna
I don't fool with that nonsense.
I don't, and you see there that they call them young humans as opposed to
Yeah.
boys and girls, and that's a
And who in the
goddamn
fuck is they
compliment.
calling the caregiver? That's what I want to
Who's
know.
the caregiver? They're the caregivers. They're the caregivers trying to move these kids into a space where they become
Because you
queer
know
and free.
the reason why I say
That,
that.
I think that needs to be shut down by government. I think there needs to be massive protests against that. There shouldn't be any type of education to talk about queerness or trans, because if you are, you figure that out later. I don't think you should be cutting off kids' genitals at 8, 9, 7, 10, whenever their parents are colluding to do this. I think that's all bullshit. I think it's just like programming our kids to be something so that they become weak constituents and people who live in this country so that they can easily be controlled. Now, I'm going to ask you something, Monique, because I think this will add some light to this question. So when did you figure all this out? And what is it that made you turn that corner?
Let's see. I was very young, but I didn't act nothing out. I remember growing up all the time. I used to hear folks say, "Oh, you gay, you gay, you gonna be this, you gonna be that," and I ain't think nothing of it. As a kid, you're not knowing what's what in the world. You don't know what they
Not
talking about,
supposed
like.
to.
And so like growing up, it was like, well, let's say around 13, 14 when I start oh, that's a lot to get into right there. I'm gonna skip that part.
No, don't skip it because that's important.
Okay, so all my life, well, so around 13 or 14, me and my cousins went on a hiking trip, I guess you could call it. It was me and my boy cousins with a guy that was their mentor. He was a white man. And we were up in the mountains, in the Wichita Mountains, in I think it's Lawton, Oklahoma. And basically this man was touching on them. And I didn't know what was
The
going on.
camp
We
director.
young. We don't know no better. Huh?
He was the camp director.
No, he was just their mentor, somebody they met at church who their mama felt comfortable with them around. And I'm guessing that she didn't know what was going on with all this, because when we got back, we were still at his house. Like, we were spending nights at his house and stuff. And that's when I first noticed anything, I guess anything remotely close to homosexuality. So
How did he get?
I was never
Was he
touched as
giving y'all things to come over there as kids? Because when with kids, it's got
well.
to be something in it for them to want to come. They ain't gonna just want to go to nobody's house. So was he giving y'all like extra fruits and
Well,
stuff?
he wasn't giving me nothing. I was never touched anything. I just witnessed a lot of it. So like I would be at their house for summertime and stuff, because their mom and my mom were first cousins, so they were real close. So like I'm pretty sure like he would take them on trips and stuff, like things they never seen. Like, so yeah, of course they were close to him, like they loved them, but he was no kin to us. He was a white man, but that's not here or there. But there was a lot going on at that time. And so my mom died in 2016, and I have never told her that I was gay or anything like that. I never had to, I guess, because parents know type stuff. And I didn't start. My mom raised us in the church, so basically we was born and raised in the church. Every day of our lives was damn near in the church, every damn day. That's probably why I'm not in church now. But so like we knew better, and like I don't know what I'm trying to get to, but I was never touched as a kid. I've seen things, but I was never touched. It's just how I felt in myself. Like it's to me, it's I feel more comfortable the way I am. So I don't know if your question was asking something else,
I'm
or
just
like,
trying to
is
figure
there
out
some
what got you made this decision where you wanted to turn that corner?
Hold on just a second.
She about to start fighting with somebody.
Nah, that was my boyfriend asking me,
I was
telling
like,
me he was finna
what
go
you
somewhere
want?
real quick. Nah. Oh, you heard that? I thought
No,
I
I did
muted
not have to read
it.
your lips.
Okay, now what was you saying?
I just wanted to know what made you make that decision, because you just said you're comfortable, you're more comfortable how you are now, but what was it that triggered that for you to say, okay, this is, I'm about to turn this corner? What was that? What was that moment?
Okay. So that was one thing. As a kid, I used to always like do girly things, and you know, I noticed that with my nephew too, but he done grown out of it. Like some people grow out of stuff, and some people they grow into stuff. So my nephew grew out of all that. Like I thought he was gonna be a little girly thing, but that boy is so manly now. It's tough. So, but that wasn't the case for me. Like I was playing with dolls and stuff. My mama didn't let me. My mama did not condone and none of that. I wasn't wearing no dresses and stuff like that. My mom would have probably tore my ass off the bone. But um I was just girly all my life. Like I didn't have I had a father figure. My stepdad was there my whole time. My dad died when I was like 3 or 4, but my stepdaddy been there ever since. So like I've always had a father figure. I had my dad, my uncles, my granddad. So there was no lack of masculinity around me. It's just I wasn't the masculine kid. So like growing up, it wasn't a tough issue for me. Like I said, I've never been touched, I've never been raped that I can remember. And it's I don't know, it's not a tough issue for me. It's just something I grew into. I remember when I came from Job Corps. Y'all know what Job Corps is?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember when I came from Job Corps, I had got me a project. Y'all know what the projects is, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I got a project. My mama helped me get me a project. And I was standing around the corner from one of my friends. And I went to her house one day and she was like, "Oh, I want you to try on something real quick. And just try it on, see how it look on you." This girl put me in a dress. I think I was like 17 at the time. And you know, black folks, we nosy, right? So it's always something going down in the project. Somebody fighting, somebody doing something they ain't supposed to be doing. And so my friend was
Good
like, "Oh,
shit.
they fight." My friend was like, "Oh, they fighting outside," and I had this damn dress on. She said, "Oh, they fighting outside. They fighting. Come on, let's go see." My dumb ass runs out the house first. I get on the porch. She closed the door behind me and locks it. And she said, "Now you need to be your true self." She yelling out the window. "Now you need to be your true self and stop trying to pretend like you ain't what you want to be. This is what you want to be. This is you." And I'm just standing out there crying, boo-hooing, like, "Let me in, let me in, let me in. You gonna get me in trouble." So and I can't remember nothing after that day, but I just know that I've been dressing like a girl ever since. I've been very girly ever since.
Okay, so do you consider
Can't
yourself,
nobody tell you that they.
okay, so do you consider yourself a woman?
I know what I am. I know I was born a man. I don't say I would consider myself as a woman because I would never take that from a woman. I would never be a woman. But if you see me on the streets and you didn't know me,
Well, I mean, I
if
didn't
if
know,
like when I
period.
go to work,
I didn't know before you came on the show. I follow
Had
you.
no
I've
clue.
seen your
Wouldn't have
videos,
never even
and I
guessed it.
never even knew. I've never, no, and I think
right?
I
So
followed
I
you
mean,
since
I don't tell.
2020. I followed you for 4 years
Right. So
at
like
least.
like I said earlier, I don't go around just telling people my business. Like if they don't ask, it's none of their business.
Right.
So like if when it comes to guys, if they trying to, like, I got a boyfriend now, but like before that, if a guy would try to talk to me and I wasn't interested in them, it's none of their business what I am. Like, it's when they come and talk to me, they think they coming up and speaking to a woman. So like, it's not my place to tell them that I'm not a woman if they just trying to talk to me and I'm not in that with
Right.
them. I'm not where
Right.
they're at. I'm not in that
Right.
space with them because it's not their business.
Right.
So like, and then it makes everything very awkward if you do something like that. So like, I just try to keep to myself, except when it comes to politics, and then I'm gung ho on everything. But like, it's it I would never say that I'm a woman, but if you see me on the streets and stuff and you talking to me, it's giving woman. Like, it's,
I mean,
I
I
don't know
thought you
how
were
else
a
to
woman.
explain it,
I'm
but I
not
would
even gonna
never
lie. I thought
tell
you were a
somebody.
woman. I thought you were a woman. I really actually thought you were a woman. So
Uh,
this is all new. This is a surprise to me,
well,
you know.
thank you.
Because I was like, hey, Laverne, Monique, well, you know Monique, the lady with the braids, you know, I'm describing you to Laverne, you know, to come on the show. And
I mean, you described me accurately. You didn't know
right,
me like that. So I mean,
right.
and I'm praying that after this, you don't be like, oh, you know that tranny, that Monique, I I wouldn't
I
want
mean,
that
no,
to
we're
happen,
filming
but I
right
mean,
now. So
would.
we are live right now. So this is what the conversation is.
Well,
It's
yeah, I
like,
know that, but I'm saying like, for now on, like if somebody was to see me and be like, hey, there go that tranny type shit, then now that'll get you cussed out. But I mean, I I don't know how best to explain it, but I know what I was born as. I know what I am, and I think it's also offensive when people like try to slight trannies or whatever and be like, oh, well, you a man, and I bitch, I know. Like, you don't think I wake up every day and don't know? Like,
right,
I never
right.
forgot it. I never forgot it, but
Benji told you to tell the Mark Levin story.
oh, that's the one where I was like, that's how I became a conservative, when
Oh,
I
the
was in
same as
jail
Andrew,
listening to
right?
Mark Levin.
Wasn't up there then,
Hmm.
so that's why.
Okay.
And also, when we was with that video that we just saw, that's why you have to be careful about these camps and things that you're taking your kids to, because you could be thinking your kids is going there to learn one thing and they want to come off the block with something totally different. They in there
Hmm.
teaching the kids about what sex they want to be, instead of teaching them things like how to write in cursive, which
Or
is something
so.
that they don't do anymore these days. Teach them how to spell, so when they're in high school, they'll be able to spell words like cat and rat, instead of, coming out graduating and can't spell shit and can't read and write, which is the problem.
I
But these
I
days
think
they're no
stories like
longer
that.
concentrating on that.
Yeah, I think stories like that and the stuff going on with LGBT issues today is that Democrats are promoting is doing nothing but making it worse for the LGBT community, because you already living in okay, so most trans people that I know, and I don't know many, but most of us want to live our lives how we want to. We don't try to force it on nobody. So that's why when I've been seeing all these trans issues popping up, I'm like, who are they talking to? Who are they referring to? Because I don't see this with my life. Like, I'm not trying to do all this. I could care less about. I'm not trying to indoctrinate no kids and stuff like that. And I don't think it's a good thing to be doing that. But I don't like. I'm not. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I just think that they're doing us a disservice. Like, y'all claim to be trying to help us, but it seemed like y'all just fucking us even more.
Hey,
Cause now y'all got folks looking at them funny and stuff like that, and it's a lot.
well,
It's
Monique,
a
I
lot.
believe it.
I'm honestly glad I got to meet you today, because like you really opened my eyes, because like I wouldn't have known that you were a trans person, and then B, like I think you're somebody I could actually hang out with, which I've probably never said about a trans person before, because you don't make it your whole identity, and then you're not like one of those over the top like trying to be female, like the Dylan dude on the Budweiser can or Bud Light can. Come like, come on, man, like no women act like that. Like that's how you think women act. And so like I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm like, dude, I'm glad I met you. I don't look at you any different now, especially after the conversation with them. Like, oh, just somebody that like that's how they want to live their life. They don't want to push it on me. You don't want to push it on my kid. It sounds like do what you want to do. You're an adult, you know. So like I don't look at any different.
And other than my sexual orientation, I am probably the most conservative person you will ever meet. Like that matter of fact, when I was arguing with that Cat Parks lady, that was the vice chair of the Texas Republican Party, I was like, girl, don't try me, because I will beat you down in conservatism. Like you, I grew up on Mark Levin, like before he became whatever he is now. But I grew up on Mark Levin and Rush Limbaugh. You can't tell me nothing about conservatism.
Well, Laverne, do you want to do the closing remarks?
Yeah, sure. Well, Monique, I could definitely say welcome on the show. We learned a lot from you today. You know, I mean, me, usually I could tell, but with you, I did not have a clue. Did not have a clue at all. You know, and like I said, welcome. And we love the fact that you and Andrew came up here to talk about it because, you know, people especially ones that look like us, you know, they got complaints from here to wherever in the world long. But when you it's not about complaining, we all need to come up with solutions, right? And somebody said mad respect for Monique. So Monique, you getting a lot of love on this platform. Getting a lot of
Thank
love
you.
here. So, you know, the thing is that, you know, people always complain, but we need to come out with people with solutions. It's not about the complaints, it's about what is the solution to the problem. But with black people that have been so brainwashed into believing whatever the Democrats and the news media has told us for all these years, you know. So when you see other ones that start to think differently, then of course they want to call you the coons. They want to call you all the names that they could think of. You know, I had one today when I posted the link on the show. They had some dumb shit to say. So, you know, I took care of that immediately. Because one thing you're not going to do with me as a black woman, as a conservative, as someone that has devoted my entire life to helping fucking others. Even when I was a little kid, I used to help my older neighbors, you know, and my passion and my love for helping people is what led me into doing what I'm doing right now with feeding people and feeding people in my community, which is very important to me. And like I always tell my staff, I don't give a shit what y'all do, but when it comes to them seniors, y'all make sure y'all take care of them seniors. Number one. Number two, make sure you take care of them mothers with kids, especially those babies, especially the babies, you know, because uh, a lot of times in our community, when foster care come after people, it's because maybe they don't have enough food in their homes or whatever. But I want them to know that we are there to help them at Curly's house. And if they need food, they can always come to get food. We used to have Pampers, but we don't have Pampers anymore. So as someone who has, like I said, devoted my life to really helping people, I'm not going to let somebody that just come up just because they read something about me being a conservative and all of a sudden they feel like they can talk some shit with nothing come out. No, bitch, I'm going to get in your ass. I'm diving in foot first in your motherfucking ass because you ain't talking no shit to me, especially if you can't match my grind with what I have doing for my community. Don't even bring it. Don't even damn bring it. You know, and the sad part is that I was the same way, you know, like when I saw the Charlottesville thing, I was like, oh my God, look at all these racist people out here. It's all because of them Republicans. And then when Trump came out, I started listening to him. I said, especially when he said, why don't y'all take back y'all community because they're not helping y'all anyway. And I was like, oh shit, he's right. Them motherfuckers damn show ain't helping us. Okay? They damn show ain't doing that. You know, especially when I call it when you're not in their favorite 5 club. That's what I call it. You know, if you in their little clubs and cliques and shit, where shit get passed around, yeah, you could do that. But when you ain't in their favorite 5 club, it's like fuck you. So that's when you got to stand up for yourself, stand up for your community, stand up for those people that you're helping, and take it to their ass. That's what you got to do, and that's also with the people that want to come in your inbox and drop dumb shit. Oh, you a coon. What is a fucking coon? You know, what is a fucking coon? Coon is a dumb
Raccoons
motherfucker.
can fight.
Yeah, they can. And they'll tear your motherfucking ass up too. Coons, possum, all them kind of marsupial motherfuckers or whatever they is, mammals will fuck you up. Okay? At the end of the day, that's it. We'll fuck you up. Because, you know, you ain't talking no shit over here. You can forget it. So, you know, anybody that want to learn, thank God that none of them dumb motherfuckers leave no dumb comments today, because me and Monique both could have got with their ass. We could
What?
have
Gonna
double
dig
teamed
right
them
in them.
motherfuckers. We could have double teamed them little dumb motherfuckers today. But anyway, you know, thank y'all for joining. All the people in the comments, Nora, we see you. Everybody else, thumbs up.
There were
Thank you for
lots of
joining
comments
us.
today. Lots of comments.
Yes.
Thank you guys for
Yes. Yes. So thank you, Andrew. And in closing, tell people where to find you at.
Oh well, thank you guys so much for having me, man. This was a lot of fun. It's cool to get around some black people and not be called a coon for talking about Trump. So for me, this was a great experience, man. You guys can find me on X. She's got my page up right now. My handles at close CLOSC some SOME sales SAYLES, like my last name. I host a crypto morning show, or I guess technically afternoon, at 12 p.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on X. Come check us out. We try to call, market analysis every show and give people a chance to make some free money with us. But again, thanks for having me, man. It's a lot of fun.
And Monique?
I have no special closing. You can follow me on, well, no, listen, if you like what you hear, you can follow me on Twitter, because listen, I don't beg for followers. I don't want none of that, because I don't want nobody saying I followed you. You need to follow me back. Now you follow me because you wanted to, not
Right.
because I asked you to. So that's my Twitter, and my Facebook is Monique Worthy. It's got a picture of my mom up there with the Israeli flag. Close your ears, Travian. But yes, I am a supporter of Israel. And
Wow.
because I'm a church person.
No.
Israel is in
I'm
my
not asking you
Bible.
why in a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because you support Israel. I'm asking you what makes you support Israel, because a lot of people say, well, Israel's in the Bible, but today's Israel is not the Israel of the Bible. So what personally makes that good for you?
Well, first of all, because I went back when that stuff was going on with the Israeli war with when whatever was happening during Obama time, I had got into the Israeli stuff, because I didn't like anything Barack Obama was doing, so I was trying to combat everything he was doing. So I started learning up on Israel. Now, I love Margaret Thatcher. Now, in reading and listening to Margaret Thatcher, I came upon Golda Meir. And when I started listening to her interviews and stuff, I was like, oh, this is a powerful bitch right here. She done defeated 6 countries, 6 to 7 countries all at one time. Like, yeah. So learning Israel's history and what they went through as a country is what make me support them, because they done been through too much. Like, and all they want to do is live in peace. That's all they want. They want to live where they are in peace with no, and then with all these countries saying that they need to give back their land, that is their land. That's Israel's land. That's them people's land. And if the Muslim countries want to help the Palestinian Authority and the Gaza people and all that. Give them some of y'all millions of acres. Y'all got land to give. Israel is this little bitty. You can see that right there, that little bitty. And y'all got all this land. Y'all got that damn peninsula over there ain't nobody using. Give them all that damn sand. Let them go play in the dirt like they do over there in Gaza anyway. Like it's just so I support Israel because they are a small nation trying to defend their life. They trying to stay alive here.
Well, I just don't want my tax dollars going to them. I want all my dollars.
Well, I don't mind considering all the shit that we send to everybody who hate our asses.
No, I don't want to send nothing to nobody. You know,
You know what? And that's right. That's right.
only.
That is exactly right. That's how all of us should be. But if we are sending money, I believe that Israel is the best place to get it.
Okay.
Next topic.
Yeah, next. I don't know about that.
That could be a whole show.
Anyway, I thank you all for coming in. This was a great show. Monique, Andrew, thank you so much for coming on. Laverne, thank you again for allowing me to co-host with you. I hope you enjoyed this provocative conversation on so many different levels. Hood Conservative, one of the best podcasts around. Don't forget to tune in with us every Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We'll always have something for you to learn and for you to laugh about. And if you want to follow me, you can find me on X at Free Trevian. And I'm Trevian Cutie on all other socials. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Now, if I can say something real quick.
So much. And join us, like Travian said, join us next week, Thursday, God's will, right here at 3 p.m. Eastern time, Eastern with the capital motherfucking E, for the bitch that had so much to say about my lower motherfucking case E that I put out there, you know. And see you next week right here on Hood Conservative Podcast.
Peace out. Thank you, guys.
Peace out, y'all. Have a great one. Hi, I'm Laverne Spicer, and I'm asking for your support today. Thousands of Americans struggle to get food, and they wonder where their next meal is going to come from. But I'm here, been working with them for over 25 years to provide food to people that need it the most, right here at our community food bank. So today, I'm asking you for your support. Please provide a contribution to help make a real difference in our community and to help us feed people. And you can do it right here. Donate today on Cash App, and you will see the link above.